Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Tech Podcast series. Lakshit on this side, the host for today's Tech Podcast. And I'm working for Azure Developer Community India, powered by Microsoft Azure. We are driving multiple initiatives around Azure in India. And today we have a special guest with us, Albert Sir, who is Microsoft MVP, and he has been doing some amazing, super amazing work in the fields of community, in the fields of technical industry. So I would like you to give a little bit introduction about yourself, sir.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm Albert Tanure. My name is kind of different because I'm from Brazil, but I'm living here in Netherlands for a long time. I'm Microsoft MVP from development technology in Azure for 5 years, and yeah, I have a great experience in the uh, software industry. I work as a developer for a long time, but I focus on the Azure platform and developing things for the platform in the cloud and cloud native. But now I work as an enterprise architect, and my passion is to share knowledge on the community.
Definitely, one can definitely check it out, your passion for the community and everything. So sir, I was just going through your profile, and it was pretty amazing. Your journey has been incredible. The experience you have of 20 years plus in the tech industry, which is absolutely very fascinating. So when you look back and see after all the things that you have built and the tech stacks that you have learned, and how everything it feels like how everything it feels like when you see everything like the tech stacks, the journey have been, what it feels like to build everything with all these things, sir.
Oh, it's nice question. Yeah, I work at with different technology and different kind of language and platform. But when I started my career, I never thought about a few years ago I will be an MVP or I will have a great knowledge about these different things. But the important things related to my career is I enjoy it, the things that I work at the same time. For instance, I work as a .NET developer. I enjoy it to work as a .NET developer, and that's it, my focus. And this is great. And then these things help me a lot to improve my skills and move to another technology. I always work at focus on a specific language, but always work and learn for different perspective of technology. I work at .NET, but I always read about Java and different technology. It's good, but yeah, as a developer, I have a great background. I have a cloud solution architect. I have a great background also, but I had to learn a lot about infrastructure and process, and these things make me a great professional. But step by step during my journey.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. When you enjoy what you are doing, definitely it's the journey becomes more simpler when when you enjoy the work that you are doing, and everything works with a perfect pace. And life is everything is in the life is about learning and upskilling yourself every day. And definitely, when you when we are talking about tech industry, there are every day there are some changes, there are some updates are coming up, so you have to update yourself every day. You have to learn something every day, so that you can be in the vogue. You have to be in the vogue to be in the tech industry, and that definitely fascinates you. We can just simply look, one can simply see in your profile. So yeah, so I'm pretty much this is pretty much expected from your side, like as you have mentioned in your profile, like you have worked as a teacher. So how, and you can't deny that fact that the honor and the privilege it feels to help someone in learning is absolutely amazing. So I wanted to ask, how has been your experience in teaching with the community, helping and fascinating people in the community, sir?
So this is interesting thing because I started to looking for to mentoring or teach something or share knowledge in the community because when I come for or when I start my university in this year 1999, I think, when I started university, in Brazil, we didn't have much information about technology, and everyone, it's like my, it's not. I don't want to work with you because if you know more than I, you can get my job. And it's not an open source community
Okay.
as we share knowledge all the time. And one time ago, I decided, oh, I need to learn something about C++. And anyone in my university wants
Yes.
to teach me. And I just study something and I create some libraries. And before that, I share my libraries with the whole university and I decide everything I learn, I will share with someone. And I started to share knowledge, write articles, and participate for some events in my community in Brazil. And I enjoy it a lot because I can see, oh, there is more people wants to learn. There's more people with passion to learn and pass this, share this knowledge with other peoples. And I like it a lot for these things. And I decided to be a community leader or someone to share something in community and help people to achieve their goals based on the technology things. And this is great and nice things that all of us needs to do.
Yes, sir. So, like as you have mentioned about the open source thing, so how much you will suggest to the beginners about the open source contribution, and how the beginner should get started with the open source, from where one should start contributing to the open source world, sir?
Yeah, I think everyone can start to contribute from open source initiative from Microsoft and Azure, for instance, using Microsoft Docs. I always
Yes.
use Microsoft Docs to help me to improve my services, to learn about a specific resource in Azure. But sometimes I well, you can identify some lack of information or some mistakes on the documentation. It is possible for you to
Mm.
start a contribution, just open an issue on GitHub from the Microsoft Docs and send this issue for someone else on Microsoft. And oh, this thing is not good. I would like to put this one, this one, and this one in. You pass for the revision, and then if your pull request was approved, you contribute with the open source project. And for me, this is the first step. Try to contribute using Microsoft resource or Microsoft Doc is the best place to start.
Yeah, so sir, this is a very generic question that we get in the community as usual. Like, so when the beginners or the those who wants to get started with the cloud computing and this whole technical word, they have this question where they ask this question very frequent. Like, I don't get the documentation properly. Like, I feel get I just get bored when I just jump off to the documentations. Sometimes the video feels a little bit better. So what you will suggest is the video videos and everything are the nice way to learn something, or the documentation is the good way to learn something? Because when one should go through the videos, it takes a lot much more time instead when it is compared to documentations. So what you will
Mhm.
suggest, like how one should approach this question?
Yes, yes. For cloud technology and for different technology, infrastructure development doesn't matter. I would like to say start from the fundamentals. Not just about, okay, I'm going to read a documentation from Microsoft. It's so vague because you cannot connect the
Mm.
dots, right? It's impossible. For instance, what is Azure? It's a cloud provider. Okay, but you need to understand the SAPC offers infrastructure as a services, software as a services, platform as a services, and why these services offered from Microsoft or for other cloud providers. My suggestion for you, if you want to start with Azure, is to find the path certification 900 800, and there is path for this certification, and on this certification you have the correct path to understand the fundamentals of cloud. And after that, okay, I can start to read documentation, consume different videos or books and so on, because now you understand the fundamentals. For me, this is the most
Yeah.
important thing.
Yeah, definitely. So fundamentals are the core areas which one should focus on, because if you have built that base, so definitely you can build a building also. This is the very basic approach. So like if you want to learn some technology, so first you should know how to how the internet works actually, and how the core things, how the basic things are working, and fundamentals is the best way to get started with. A very crucial point that you have mentioned. So the next question is kind of my personal question, that, and I'm very curious to ask, like, what it's like to be a solution architect, and what areas in the tech industry a solution architect is responsible for, sir.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a good question. Uh, all of us, our thoughts about architecture is the guy knows everything about technology. It's good. We knows for different perspective of technology. We knows about the fundamentals, but we need to understand different approach, not just only about technology and a specific stack. As a cloud solution architect, you need to know about process. What is the agile? What is the Kanban, Scrum, and different management things? And what is the people management, feedbacks, and then also it's important to you to understand the design approach for architectures. For instance, okay, I would like to be a cloud solution architect from Azure, but do you
Mhm.
know about Azure fundamentals? Do you know about infrastructure if you are a developer? Or do you know about developer development things if you are infrastructure guy? This thing is important because I cannot provide an architect for my team or for my company from Azure if I don't understand first people, partners, design partners, mechanisms, event source, event driven, different partners, microservices, and also if I don't understand the environment, Azure, what is the service bus and why I should use Azure Service Bus instead of to use storage account queue. It depends. It depends
Mhm.
of your goals. It depends the objective. But to be a cloud solution architect, try to understand the environment, the technology, and the process. It's like a culture DevOps in a nutshell.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning all the crucial points, sir. That was very insightful. And now the question comes, as you have mentioned earlier, about the certification. So, how, according to you, the certification plays a major role in the industry or not? So, what approach one should prefer to pass all these Microsoft certifications, Azure certification specifically, sir?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Just one compliment for the last question, and before to talk about the certification. To be an architect, we need to have always approach to question why. This is important.
Mhm.
Why and why and why. This is important to reflect
Okay.
about the strategy. But for certification, it's another thing. It's so important. We don't need to focus on this certification just because I have the new badge, but we need to
Mhm.
enjoy the path. For instance,
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
I'm Azure expert. I had this
Mhm.
certification, but I had to pass from the AZ 304 303 before to have this certification. But these both certification helped me a lot to understand the Azure environment, different components, different perspectives to complement my architecture skills. But how we can achieve this certification is the first one. From my perspective, and the way that I'm using to study is first, I'm trying to download the certification requirement. We need to know about the data stores, service event processors, security, and so on. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, there is some path on Microsoft to learn. This is my first step. If I have a path for Microsoft to learn, it's my guidance to understand, okay, now I have to learn about the Azure fundamentals, database, and so on. And I try to use this Microsoft Learn resource to help me not just to learn about the some subject, but also to use this opportunity to create labs. Labs is
Yeah,
important for you. It's not just about
project based learning.
uh, Yeah, I cannot just read something about Azure AD and okay, I know
Yes.
about it. No, try to do some labs. Try to create different perspectives that mention on the text, and these labs will help you to understand correctly this functionality and also to have the knowledge enough to pass on these certifications. This is the best
Hmm.
practices.
Definitely, project based learning and hands on learning is the best way to learn and achieve anything, because that allows you the real time simulations and everything. It allows you to put your skill, your knowledge into the real time scenarios, we can say. And this is how you can just learn anything better in the better way. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so my next question is, sir, quite obvious, and it is obviously it is related to the community. So, how do you get the Microsoft Valuable Professional? Like the MVP award is something that's very rare in the community and is being given to the community experts. And so, how is your call in this, and how it feels like to be an MVP?
Yeah, for me it's a pleasure to be an MVP for a long. But I received my friend referred me to be an MVP in the past because now he is my friend because he
Okay.
was part from one test talk that I presented, and she mentioned, "Oh, you need to be an MVP," and I received a refer from him, and Microsoft give you some link to input your subscription or your contribution from the community. But the most
Okay.
important thing before to be an MVP is to have a passion to share knowledge and make the difference on your community. This is the first step.
Mhm.
And the second step is okay, I can try to talk with one MVP to say, I would like to be another one. Could you please talk with me? And some MVPs will mentoring you to be a good contributor and prepare you to be an MVP in the future. And as soon
Mhm.
as, okay, imagine you want to be an MVP, I will work with you about 3 months to mentoring you. It's my approach. And
Mhm.
then I will refer you, you receive some links from Microsoft to put your contributions, and Microsoft will, okay, I will analyze if this guy is good to be an MVP. And then you can
Mhm.
receive this award or not. If you not, you will receive a call for our MVP lead to explain to you why not and what you should to improve for the next time. But yeah, to be an MVP for me, it's a dream. I studied a lot for a long time. This is my passion to contribute and share knowledge, and because of that, I received these awards.
Yes, sir. And definitely you have a passion for the work, and incredible that, as you have mentioned, said it also earlier, like you enjoy your work, you enjoy sharing with the community, mentoring people, helping community folks, sharing your learning and everything. So definitely you are the perfect person to be an MVP. And so the follow-up question with what you said just a couple of seconds ago is like, what's the best way to contribute? Is it in the form of blogs or something like videos or seminars or talking giving a in-person talk? So how do you feel like was the best way to contribute?
It depends. For instance, this initiative from this podcast, it's a good way to contribute. There is no rule from your contributions, but it's like you are make the difference on your region, on your community.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if
Yeah.
you are trying to do it based on article. Doesn't matter if you are trying to do it on YouTube or maybe on some events. Doesn't matter. The most important thing is the impactful from your contributions.
Hmm.
If you are reaching many people, if these people consume your resource, if you make some difference on their life, this is enough. This is the most important things. But also needs to be something original from your side. You cannot, oh, I cannot copy the Albert initiatives because this is initiative from Albert. I will try to create some initiative by myself. But if you are
Yeah.
impact the lives, this is most important thing.
Yeah, so sir, there is a hoax that has been created in the community that is around. We get this question multiple times, like suppose I try to contribute in the community, if I'm writing any article on on the basis of my learnings, I'm just sharing my learning in the community, then the appreciation, or the support, or the likes, you can say, the likes or comments or everything, we are not getting that much enough likes to, if suppose if it's a LinkedIn. So if someone is posting some technical content, so they are just getting 2 3 likes, and instead someone who is posting a random story, they are getting enough likes. So this is a misconception that has been created in the community. So how you want to, if you want to throw a little bit light upon this too, it would be great, sir.
Yeah, I think, for instance, right? It's my opinion. Maybe you can share your from your community on YouTube, and you receive a lot of access on your video. This is kind of
Mm,
contributions. Microsoft
mm,
will see, okay, this video has 100, 200 views, but the
mm,
content of this guy, it's good. This is like a specialist. He is involved in different initiatives. He has a good
okay.
impact on their region. It's not just about the content, not just about what you share, but it's about the impactful. And for instance,
Mm,
from my side, I would like to be shared this podcast before, but I didn't. But I can share your YouTube channel for the next time and this podcast and these things, and help you to make impact on your region. And of course, we can support you as a someone from community. But I think this initiative is most important than the award from MVP for me, because you're
yeah.
trying to give different information for your attendees. This is important.
Yeah, so to summarize, what you said is just about the impact that you are creating. Doesn't matter what, if you are not getting enough likes and everything. So those who are listening to this podcast, make sure just try to create that impact. Don't just put yourself in that zone, just giving your best level best, and just keep upgrading every day. And so as you have the phenomenal experience in the software industry, and I would really like to know your views about this, like what according to you the future is taking us, and how will the software industry is going to drive the future, and like, is there any specific skill you will suggest someone at the meantime to be future ready?
Yeah, I was talking with a friend about this subject, but for future, okay, it's like the same from the past, from my opinion. We need to be a specialist for something, but pretension, the companies, once the people knows more than just only one tool, only one technology. Now we are working with Azure, but in the future, we need to work with hybrid scenario, Azure,
Hmm.
GCP, AWS. And if you are not
Hmm.
prepared to work with these different couple of technology, we are not prepared for the next industry, in my opinion. And
Hmm.
because of that, I insist the fundamentals, it's so important to maintain updated for the new technology and for this next requirement for the market, in my opinion.
Yeah, so sir, just one very important question just I want to mention in this podcast. This is around, the hiring and all the cloud opportunities or the DevOps opportunities that are available in the industry. So just a couple of days ago, some tech leaders like Mark Zuckerberg and everyone has also mentioned this, like people in the tech industry are not 100% of the people in the tech industry are doing their best efforts. There are lots of lazy people in the tech industry around. So my question here is, so how according to you, if someone is preparing for the cloud jobs and everything, so what does HR's from HR's perspective or from a company perspective, what does the industry wants in real?
Okay, yeah. For me, it makes sense. For instance, I made these things in the past. It helped me a lot. I would like to be a cloud architect. Uh, what kind of requirements to be a cloud architect in specific company? For instance, you want to be a cloud solution architect from Microsoft. Did you try to read the Microsoft job description? And okay,
Okay.
we need someone to knows about the infrastructure, network, and then I'm using these job descriptions to guide me the things that I want to learn. And if you want to be a cloud solution architect for your company or different companies in India or Brazil or different countries, it depends. This position depends for the company, but try to access this job description and get the information, the technology, the requirement for this company, and try to use this to guide you to understand the approach that we need to learn before to be a cloud solution architect on this company. It's not just, oh, I would like to apply for this job. No, try to look at for this job first, to understand the approach, to be prepared for to apply on this job. This is my idea. I receive many feedbacks on this approach. Then when I shared with my friend, we have success. But for me, it's like that. Try to prepare for the position before to achieve them.
Yeah, definitely. And those who are listening to this podcast in future, I'll highly suggest to, to mark the all these points that sir has said, just mentioned. Like JD is, the job description is the most important thing. So the dream job that you have in your mind, just keep it, look at it, and just try to figure it out where you want to, what skill the company is offering, what they exactly wants, and how they exactly wants, what tools they are, the tools the industry or that job requires, because that are the most important thing. So, sir, it was very lovely talking to you. So, on a last note, if you want to share something, some quote or something like that you have in your mind with the commentary, it would be great, sir, from your side to listen to you.
No, I just would like to share this. This is a great tricks from my side, and try to prepare for your wishes to be a software architect, enterprise architect. Look at for the companies, understand what the companies do and the tools and so on. uh, Read the job description. But yeah, if you want, I'm always open to answer messages on my LinkedIn. I'm trying to share knowledge on my YouTube channel, and I always open for everyone. Feel free to reach out to me, and I hope you enjoyed these tricks from my side, these answers. But if not, I'm available to participate for this podcast in your community again.
Yeah, definitely. And guys, we will just mention all the details and all the LinkedIn profiles and Twitter social handles of Albert sir in the job in the description, so you can just access all these things from the description. And thank you, sir. It was our pleasure to have you here in this podcast, and it was my pleasure to host this podcast with you. And thanks for giving this opportunity to me. And it was lovely talking to you, sir. And thanks for giving your time, sir, especially for the community.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
this
sir.
opportunity.
Thank you, sir.